Hello, everyone. My name is Royce Robertson, and I'm here to share some information with you about considerations for technology when preparing for your edTPA. It's been about 20 years since I've done my student teaching, and back at that time, we used to also record our lessons and review the video, much like coaches review game footage. But back in that time, this is what the technology looked like. It was a little bulkier, and we had to carry around those VHS tapes with us. But generally and genuinely, I think we got better at our teaching because we were able to review the video, identify areas that we could improve at, and then go back and practice them in the classroom. And I know that the edTPA is high stakes and possibly stressful for a lot of you, but I want you to remember that stay focused on the goal, and that's to use the technology to review your teaching and improve your practice. So, in terms of succeeding at the technological components of the edTPA, I'm a firm believer in having a process, having something that you can rely on, and thinking about planning before you get started. So my messages are pretty simple, and that's focus on the before, during, and after, and focus on tools, process, and outcomes. So our general outcomes that we want are a clear, observable recording, successful edTPA completion, and again, informed instructional improvement. We want you to get better every day. So before you record your class, organize all of your tools. So you have to decide what kind of device you want to use. Are you going to use a video camera? Are you going to use an iPad? Are you going to use your phone? And understand that there are pros and cons to each decision that you make. A great idea is to also consider where you might be able to loan some things from. If you have friends who have these that you can consider, or contact the service desk and see what's available in terms of video cameras, so on and so forth. You're also going to have to consider some accessories, such as what kind of microphone to use and having a tripod. I know for a fact that as a regular coffee drinker, it's difficult for me to keep that camera steady if it's not on a tripod. The next thing that we need to consider is that you have adequate storage for record time. If you have uh, media cards that are external and have to be inserted, what's the maximum size on that? Is it 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig, and what kind of record time does that allow you for? The last thing you need to consider is the backup. When you're done recording, what are you going to do with the video clips if you need to record more? And if you don't have the storage to record more, then where are you going to put those files in between? So it's this process of kind of adding and removing the files from the media. There's also a process to consider. Look at the classroom layout. Is it a square classroom, or are there odd angles and directions? What way do the children face? What shape or layout are the desks in? It's so important that you consider these angles, because if the children are facing away from you all the time, it might be hard for the microphones to pick up any ambient noise. Imagine you're in a room and someone's facing away from you and talking, and it's really difficult to hear them. It's also very difficult to record it. Consider the sounds in the room, like air conditioners, open windows, and such. Also consider permissions. Make sure that you have the proper permission to do any recording beforehand. And then finally, I always encourage people to have a buddy system. If the camera is going to move, and you've got someone in the building who's willing to help you, maybe recruit them to come in and work the camera, so to speak. Bottom line is practice really helps. Practice the entire process, from setting it up to recording it to taking it down and managing your media and video. So in terms of microphones, I think there's some good bang for the buck if you can invest in a Bluetooth microphone or possibly a smartphone tripod. You can also ask around. This is a great opportunity to borrow some things from other people. So please contact the service desk if you have any questions. More bang for the buck. Uh, Memory is really cheap right now, so please make sure that you purchase as much as you can, give it in within your given budget, and also test the view. Make sure that that you don't want to get into it and realize that something doesn't look the way that it should. Test it out ahead of time. Good bang for the buck. So during the recording, make sure that your device has an adequate charge, that you get the opportunity to test it right beforehand. Press record, say a couple of things. Hello, how are you? My name is, and then stop the recording, play the recording, make sure that it works. Clear out any video footage that might be on the device that you need to, and then to get it started recording, and then take your time to get started. Yeah, all it does is leave trimmings at the beginning and the end of the video footage. So if there's 30 seconds of silence before you get started, in my mind, that's okay. It's better than you hurrying over and pressing the button, or getting started in haste and forgetting to press the button. Stay focused. The trimmings are okay. We can get rid of them later. The process, set up early, check your angles, check your sounds, confirm your permissions, work with your buddy, make sure that the two of you are working as a team. And then, bottom line is act natural. It's really easy to tell when someone thinks that they're in front of a camera. Just forget the camera's there and do your best. Afterwards, immediately check for quality, manage your storage, and then we can take some time to edit and compress the videos or remove the trimmings. Bottom line in that regard is that if something is wrong, we've got to adjust our process. So you want to do the check as fast as possible so that you plan for any kind of reshoot. You confirm the quality of your video and your audio. You make sure that that none of the permissions were violated. That young man who walks across the camera and smiles and gives a peace sign, and he has not turned in his permissions. That could cause a little bit of a problem. Uh, Make sure that you check all your views, and that you focus on your actions as the teacher, and also the resulting action of the children. If you have any Moyne specific advice, you can always come to the service desk in the library. The phone number is 445-4579. You can also email the service desk. They can help you with practicing with the technology, editing the video, getting used to Google Drives. And of course, tap into your friends. They have a lot of expertise in some areas. They can always help with camera work, especially if they're in the same building as you are or the same district. And they can also loan you some equipment here and there. Thank you all for your time, and as always, best wishes.